Hello, everyone. Welcome, finally, to episode 2 of my podcast, Ian Dies. It was on hold because I had technical difficulties with the microphone I was using. I'm trying a different way. Hopefully it doesn't sound terrible. I'm still going to go with the flow. And welcome to episode 2. This is the slasher bracket is what I'm calling it. But we're going to talk about some other things. I have a little bracket of slasher horror movies here. Obviously I don't have every slasher in the world on here. There's probably some big ones I'm missing, and we'll get to that soon. I did want to start off with saying thank you. I did a little compilation of 80s horror movie trailers, and I just was doing it for fun. I had no idea that it was going to pop off as much as it has. It's almost at 10,000 views, which is just insane to me. So I appreciate everyone for checking that out, commenting on it. A volume 2 will be coming soon. I just need to gather up some movies to find trailers for. You guys feel free to leave me suggestions of 80s horror movies. You can do whatever movie you want as long as it came out in the 80s, and I will include it. And I've gained a lot of subscribers from that video as well. We were at like 30 subscribers, I think, not even a week ago. And now we're at over 100. I got lucky, man. I hit the jackpot. 100 subscribers. I was scared to even start this YouTube channel to begin with. And then I just did it for fun. And I've had a blast ever since. So thank you guys for showing support on it. I really do appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, let me know, criticize me in the comments. What videos do you want to see? What can I do better? Also, just a little promotion. Follow my Instagram at @IanLoves_. We're close to 1,000 followers over there, which is insane as well. So yeah, go check it out. But anyways, I wanted to start off with some questions that you guys asked me over on Instagram. I asked you guys to give me some questions for a future podcast episode, and I got 3 of them, which is fine. I wasn't asking for a bunch. I'm glad I only have 3, because now I can just cram it into an episode. But if you guys have any questions for me, you can either leave them on the post that I made about a month ago now, or you can leave your questions in the comments below, and I will, if I have enough gathered, I'll try to do a little Q&A before every episode, before I start the episode. So, first question is from @TonyWeber95 on Instagram. It's either Weber or Weber. It might be Weber. Tony Weber 95. They say, something I hear nobody talk about are the digital codes that come with the movies. Do people use them or throw them away? Me personally, I use them when I travel. I have my movies with me. So, until recently, I actually started doing stuff with the digital codes. I either just wait too long and then they end up expiring, so I just waste them and then I throw them out. Or I will give them away. That's what I've been doing recently. Now that I'm on social media talking about movies and stuff, I will give away a digital code here and there. I have some saved for future giveaways. So that's what I'm doing with them right now. But I know some people sell them for money. I'm not sure how you would do that. Maybe Cash App, or I don't know how you would do that, but I know some people do. Or just give them to family, friends. I've done that before. I don't really redeem any. I have some on Voodoo that were either given to me, and then I think I redeemed one just to see how to do it, like a test. But yeah, I don't know. I give them away mostly. I try to give them away. I'm not sure what other people do with them. There's some people that have huge digital collections. Huge digital collections. But that's just not something I'm really interested in. Why would I need to own the movie twice? If I already own it on physical, I don't need to redeem the code for it. I can just give it away. That's my whole thing about it. Next question is from the Wacko Reviews on Instagram. They say, what are your top 5 favorite movies from before the 2000s? That's very broad. That's a very broad question. I'm assuming you mean, like, just anything before the 2000s? Or do you mean, like, just like the 90s? Like, right before the 2000s? I can answer both. Favorite movies? They're all horror movies because I just love horror. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to switch it up. Talk about something other than horror. Before the 2000s. Pulp Fiction's up there. Before the 2000s. Pulp Fiction. I'm trying to think of other ones that aren't horror because I'm trying to switch it up. Nah, whatever. Pulp Fiction, Sleepaway Camp, Maniac, Night of the Creeps. So that's how many? 4? I need one more. Damn. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Child's Play 2, maybe. I don't know. I'm on the spot right now, so I really don't know. Those are just some I like. I'm blanking on stuff that came out before the 2000s for some reason. I don't know why I'm blanking so hard. But yeah. Anyways, next question. Before 90s, I'll answer the 90s one because I said I would. Scream. Okay, Scream, Castle Freak. Again, they're all going to be horror. Maybe not. Pulp Fiction was 90s, but I won't say that again. Jackie Brown. We'll do another Quentin Tarantino. 90s. That's 3. Think of more 90s, Ian. Think of more 90s. Damn. Fight Club. Was that 90s? I like Fight Club. It's a little overrated, but I like Fight Club. I don't know, man. I can't think. But thanks for the question, Wacko Reviews. Next up is from @_horrorflix. They've been a fan of me for a long time, or have followed me for a long time, like since I first started on Instagram. So, shout out to you. You asked me, what made you decide to be a movie critic? I wouldn't call myself a critic. Amateur is what I would call it. I started doing Letterboxd. That's probably when I started really enjoying writing about movies. And sharing my opinion about movies was probably when I started my Letterboxd back in, I think, the summer of 2022. I know it was 2022. Maybe it was spring. But I reviewed Pulp Fiction. I've seen Pulp Fiction like a couple years before that, but I reviewed it on Letterboxd. Just a little short review. I didn't start doing lengthy reviews until last year. I was like, okay, if I'm going to make an Instagram where I post my reviews, I want to put more effort into them. I want to do paragraphs. I want to really analyze the film. That's when I started reviewing movies, like for real. I just want people to answer your question, I really want people to, I want to share my opinions with people. I want people to have conversations about my opinions. I want to bring more light onto overseen movies. Movies that people might not know about. I want to bring light onto them. So that's really why I do what I do. And yeah, I've had a blast doing it. So thanks for your question, Horrorflix. Thanks to all you guys for giving me questions. Again, if you have any questions that you want to ask me now, comments below, Instagram, wherever you can reach me, ask me at any time. I don't mind, and I will answer them. Moving on to the bracket. So let me count here. 16 movies, 16 slasher movies are here. If you guys want me to, I can do a part 2. Put some different slashers on here, or I can just do horror movies in general. Or like different genres like sci-fi horror I could do. There's still a lot of horror movies I have not seen. So that's another limitation. Your favorite slasher I might not have seen yet. But we're just gonna start the bracket. And the first matchup is Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Black Christmas. So the original TCM and Black Christmas. This is really the original Black Christmas too, not the other bullshit. This is like really hard. I'm not gonna lie. If you guys are wondering how I made the bracket, I chose the movies and then I had Chat GPT, which if you don't know what that is, it's an AI thing that you can type to. I asked it to assort them in a bracket style. So I didn't choose the matchups. But you got TCM and Black Christmas. I'm going to go with Black Christmas. I think. Black Christmas is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. Probably the scariest movie. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if we're talking about how it affected horror, I mean, it paved the way for years and years and years of horror. It paved the way. But Black Christmas, I just love. I'm going to move Black Christmas is moving forward. I'm sorry, TCM. That sucks that goes out in the first round. But I'm taking Black Christmas over TCM. Let me know your guys' answers in the comments below as well. Next up, we have Fear Street 1978 and Freaky. So some modern movies mashed up together. Fear Street 1978 was the one that's pretty much Friday the 13th. I really like that movie. It's my favorite Fear Street. It's the only one I really return to. Fear Street is a trilogy because I don't think I've talked about it on the channel. It's a trilogy that I like, but it's just too childish and hokey for me. It has its moments, but I only really like the first two. But 78 is the second one. And then Freaky. I love Freaky. It's a horror comedy that mixes Freaky Friday with a slasher. I've never really thought of it as a slasher, but I guess it is a slasher. I'm going to go with Freaky. I'm pretty confident on that one. Again, I like Fear Street 78, but I'm going to go with Freaky. Next up is Scream. And I Know What You Did Last Summer. Again, a weird matchup, how similar these are. That AI, man, it just knows what it's doing. But Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. I mean, this is just a blowout. It's going to be Scream. I'm not huge on I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's due for a rewatch. But Scream is one of the first horror movies I've ever seen. I grew up watching Scream. I didn't really check out the franchise until I got into horror. But the original Scream I grew up on. I love that movie. I'm going with Scream. There's no doubt in my mind. I know there's people that would disagree. But I'm going with Scream over I Know What You Did Last Summer. Next up is The Mutilator versus Terror Train. Both these movies I'm just okay on. The Mutilator's fun. Also known as Fall Break. That stupid song. The Mutilator's fun. It's not really memorable. Terror Train's also really fun. I think I'm gonna go with Terror Train. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Terror Train. So Terror Train moves on. And that is the left column done. So TCM versus Black Christmas. Black Christmas won. Fear Street 78 and Freaky won. Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Scream won. The Mutilator and Terror Train won. So next up is going to be Prom Night versus Chopping Mall. I love Prom Night. I haven't seen it in a long time. I saw this like a couple of years ago, before I even really got into horror. I just watched this for Halloween. I really enjoy it. Chopping Mall. It's one of the most fun slashers out there. It's so much stupid fun. I'm gonna go with Chopping Mall. I don't know. This is a weird one. Maybe I'll go with Prom Night. I don't know, man. This is a hard one. Chopping Mall. I'm gonna go with Chopping Mall. It's final. Next up is Alone in the Dark versus Halloween. Dude, I love Alone in the Dark. I just watched that the other day. I love it. But Halloween is such a classic. Halloween moves on, unfortunately, because I love Alone in the Dark. Go watch that, guys, if you haven't. But yeah, Halloween moves on. No doubt about it. Next up this is going by a little quick. I might have to hurry up and cook up a new bracket so we can do 2 in one podcast. Maybe even 3. Maybe I'll cook up a large bracket. But we're just going to finish this one off. Urban Legend versus Terrifier. This is a weird one. Not huge on Terrifier. I'm okay on Urban Legend. I like the second Terrifier, and I love All Hallows Eve. All Hallows Eve wipes out both the Terrifier movies. Urban Legend is probably the most Scream rip-off out of most of the 90s and 2000s movies. It's more of a rip-off of Scream than something like Valentine. I think I'm going to go with Urban Legend over Terrifier. Terrifier is so damn good. The first 30 minutes is so damn good. And then it drags and drags and drags and drags and drags and falls off for me. So I'm going with Urban Legend. I would rather watch Urban Legend than Terrifier. And then the last one until round 2 is Friday the 13th versus A Nightmare on Elm Street. So 2 classics versing each other for the final one. I'm going with A Nightmare on Elm Street. It pretty much wipes it out, I would say. The first Friday the 13th I respect the hell out of. But to say that it's great is kind of a reach. I wouldn't consider it great. A Nightmare on Elm Street is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's not my favorite in the franchise, but it is so damn good. So that moves on. So, we got Prom Night versus Chopping Mall. Chopping Mall won. Alone in the Dark versus Halloween. Halloween won. Urban Legend versus Terrifier. Urban Legend won. And Friday the 13th versus A Nightmare on Elm Street. A Nightmare on Elm Street won. So moving on to round 2, we have Black Christmas versus Freaky. This is another wipeout. Black Christmas, all the way. Again, I love Freaky. But Black Christmas just does something, man. It does something that not a lot of horror movies have done. So Black Christmas moves on. Scream or Terror Train? Scream wins. Well, it doesn't win the whole thing, but it moves on. Terror Train's, I would actually say it's pretty good. The more I think about it, Terror Train's not terrible. But again, Scream. It has that connection with me, so it's moving on. Shopping Mall or Halloween? Damn. I don't know if I should go with the one that I think is better or the one I enjoy more. I think I enjoy Chopping Mall more, but I'm gonna go with Halloween so I don't get pitchforked to death. I'm gonna go with the ones that I think are better. I don't know. It's very subjective. All of this is subjective. I don't know what to really go for. Urban Legend and Nightmare on Elm Street. And Nightmare on Elm Street walks. It walks. So we got Black Christmas versus Freaky. Black Christmas moved on. Terror Train versus Scream. Scream moved on. Halloween. Wait, no. Urban Legend versus Nightmare on Elm Street. And Nightmare on Elm Street moved on. Chopping Mall versus Halloween. Halloween moved on. So now we got Black Christmas versus Scream. I mean, how does this work, this bracket? So out of these four, I picked my favorite. So Black Christmas, Halloween, Scream, or Nightmare on Elm Street. Damn. Scream's off the table. I would say Scream's off the table. I would probably also say Halloween's off the table. I know. It's hard to see it go. So, Black Christmas or A Nightmare on Elm Street? Damn. Nightmare on Elm Street, I think. I think A Nightmare... You know what? Black Christmas. I freaking love Black Christmas. Black Christmas won the slasher bracket. Again, hopefully you're not too mad at me. But it won the bracket. So, I'm going to cook up something right, real quick. Alright, I made another bracket. Hopefully I don't burn through this one too quickly, because I don't have another bracket ready. So I'll just have to figure out something to talk about if I burn through this one quickly as well. We got 16 more slashers here. I tried to switch it up a little bit. So yeah. Black Christmas won the last one. I can't say I saw that one coming. I mean, I love that movie. But yeah, anyways, Sweet 16 versus X-Ray. Sweet 16, I know, is kind of a deep cut, but I just watched it recently. I enjoyed it a little bit. It's a mystery slasher where they focus on the detectives, which I usually enjoy that. It's in this little small town, and they blame everything on these Indians, which is kind of goofy. But it's decent, and the reveal is a mess. X-Ray is a slasher that... It's a Valentine's Day movie, so... kind of fits the times. At least when I'm recording this on Valentine's Day. But X-Ray is a slasher that's in a hospital. The whole movie's in a hospital. There's this moment in the movie where the killer swaps out the main character's X-ray with one that's like bad. So these doctors thinks that this girl is dying, which I thought was messed up, but really cool. So between these two, which one's moving on? Sweet 16 or X-Ray? I enjoy both these. I really do enjoy both these. Maybe X-Ray though. I think X-Ray's gonna move on. Next up, Valentine versus Cursed. I might even be stretching it calling Cursed a slasher. But Valentine, again, trying to fit the times, even though it's going to be late. This video is going to come out after Valentine's Day. But Valentine is a stupid slasher. I mean, it's another Scream clone. Got these group of girls. They start dying. It's a simple premise. The twist, I'm still not sure who the killer is because they do these little flip-flops over and over and over. And then you got Cursed, which is Wes Craven's werewolf movie. It's pretty much a slasher, but with werewolves. You got a good cast. Jesse Eisenberg's in here. One of his first roles. It's a dumb, fun horror comedy. It definitely has Wes Craven reeked all over it, which I loved. I mean, it's... No doubt about it, it feels like a Wes Craven movie. Well, no shit, it is. But Cursed moves on, I think. I'm gonna say Cursed moves on. This will be interesting to see who wins. And again, hopefully I have time, because I really don't know. Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland versus Fatal Games. Now, I put in Sleepaway Camp 3 because I enjoy that movie. I'll talk about it in a second. But also, I didn't want to put in the first Sleepaway Camp because that would win. Immediately, that would win. Because it's my favorite movie of all time. So I put in Sleepaway Camp 3. And then Fatal Games, another kind of deep cut. Sleepaway Camp 3 follows Angela. She comes back to a different camp this time. It's so stupid, but it's so much fun. I've always said this. It's better than Sleepaway Camp 2. Way better than Sleepaway Camp 2. And I will always stick by that. So many cool deaths in here. It's very autumn. If you need like a good, let's say you're listening to this in the fall. If you need a good fall movie to watch, slap on Sleepaway Camp 3. It is just orange leaves, orange trees, just autumn. Just reeks autumn. I love it. There's this character in there that just plays the boombox the whole movie, and he's just an asshole. It's hilarious, dude. And then I forgot his name. Can't think of it, but it's the punk rock kid. And he, the scene where the guy blows up right next to him is such a great scene. There's Fatal Games, which is the slasher about this Olympic school. I said this before. I put it on like the same lines as something like Final Exam, where the acting is downright horrible, and it's laughable, but it's so much damn fun. I watched this with my mom. We were cracking up the whole time. It is so much damn fun. Sleepaway Camp 3 moves on, though. I'm going to say Sleepaway Camp 3 moves on. Sorry, Fatal Games. Now we got X versus Maniac. The original Maniac. Yes, I'm actually thinking about this. Because am I doing what I think I enjoy better or what I think is better? X really grew on me a lot. So when I first watched X and Pearl, I like Pearl more. Now, I've rewatched Pearl 2 times. I've rewatched X probably 3 or 4 times. I freaking love X. Absolutely love that movie. It gets better and better and better the more I watch it. I love X. Maniac is one of my favorites of all time because it's just such a unique slasher. I always talk about Maniac on the channel. You guys are probably sick of it. I try to sneak it into every video I make because I just love it so much. It's gonna hurt me to say this, but Maniac's gonna move on. And I'm gonna leave X behind. It's gonna hurt me to say it. So that's the left side done. Sweet 16 versus X-Ray. X-Ray moved on. Valentine versus Cursed. Cursed moved on. Sleepaway Camp 3 versus Fatal Games. Sleepaway Camp 3 moved on. And then X versus Maniac. Maniac moved on. Now on the right side, again, I was trying to go with some more deep cuts, just to switch it up a little bit. You got Skinner versus April Fool's Day. Skinner is a movie that stars Ted Raimi. I wish Skinner was a full-on slasher, They go the more weird route of things. I wish it was more of a Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer type movie where it's just fucking brutal. Where it's just brutal the whole time with Ted Raimi. But it really wasn't that. It was like this weird reanimator. Not really reanimator. It was like a sci-fi. It went the sci-fi route, kind of. Witches and shit. It's a weird movie. Then you got April Fool's Day, the original. Not the remake. The original April Fool's Day, which I absolutely love. The twist, like the more you think about the movie, the twist should be so obvious. But it shocked me and won me over. It made me enjoy the whole movie so much more. April Fool's Day is going to move on. But I think you guys should check out Skinner. It's weird, but in a good way. I like Skinner. Next up is Child's Play versus Intruder. I love both of these movies. I enjoy Child's Play 2 more than Child's Play 1. Child's Play is another one of the first horror movies I remember watching with my grandma. I mean, it's about a creepy dog running around. There's some great scenes in it. It's very iconic and memorable. It's referenced a shit ton. It's one of the most iconic horror movies of the 80s. I love Child's Play. Intruder, I made a whole video about saying how underrated it is, and then there's people commenting, telling me that it's not really that underrated anymore. I guess I can agree, but I freaking love Intruder. I'm the only one in my house that likes that movie. I showed it to my mom and dad. They both hated it. For some reason, I don't understand. What's to hate about Intruder? It's a slasher in a grocery store. This is really difficult for me. Child's Play or Intruder? I might go Intruder, which is going to give me hate. I might go Intruder. I'm going to go Intruder. The Child's Play franchise, there's better installments. That's where I really want to go with Intruder. Because Child's Play is awesome, but 2 did it better. So yeah, I really don't know. I'm just going to go with Intruder. Next up is Open 24 Hours or Thanksgiving. Open 24 Hours is kind of a deep cut. It's about, I keep saying that word. It is, though. I don't think a lot of people know about this movie. It's about this girl who, she dated a serial killer. And she's, like, overcoming that. She has PTSD. And this serial killer only killed people when it rained outside, which I thought was very unique. And I'm surprised that no other movie has done that. She gets this job at a gas station. And that's really when shit goes down. Her past starts to haunt her. It's a slasher in a gas station. It's very simple. It's dragged out to all hell. I think it's like almost 2 hours. 20 minutes shy from being 2 hours, I believe. Which is just ridiculous for what it is. The reveals are sloppy and messy. It's kind of generic. It falls underneath the generic. Unfortunately. But it's still fun. And I recommend it. And then you got Thanksgiving. I saw this in theaters, opening day. I really like Thanksgiving. I'm going to rewatch it. I heard it's coming out on Netflix. So I'll probably check it out whenever that happens. Or maybe I'll hold off until November. I don't know. But Thanksgiving, seeing the Grindhouse trailer, it kind of disappoints me. When I watched Thanksgiving, I did not see the Grindhouse trailer yet. I wish that this movie went to the 80s Grindhouse slasher route. I really do. They went for the more early 2000s, 90s nostalgic route, which is very interesting. Eli Roth did his thing. There's good gore. Again, seeing the Grindhouse trailer makes me wish that the trampoline kill was better. But it's a good movie. I'm taking Thanksgiving over Open 24 Hours. I just am. I'm taking it over. Then the last matchup, you have Totally Killer versus Freddy vs. Jason. I really like Totally Killer. It's another one of those movies that mashed an older movie with a slasher. So this one is Back to the Future in slasher form. I think it's really well done. Has a good cast. It's a good story. It's very simple. Halloween vibes are there. 80s vibes are there. They depicted the 80s really great. I really enjoyed it. It's dumb fun. The reveal, I don't really remember the reveal off the top of my head. Oh yeah, I do, I think. I think I remember it. But I enjoyed it. Freddy vs. Jason. Nostalgic movie. It's a time capsule of the early 2000s, if anything. I'm still just happy that it's a thing. Learning about, like, how long it took for it to come out and everything. There's some moments in it that I don't like Jason being afraid of water. That's probably the stupidest shit ever. I really like how the film looks. I don't know, man. This is pretty difficult. I feel like they're even. If I were to give these a score, I feel like it would be the same score. Am I going to go with Totally Killer? I think I'm going to go with Freddy vs. Jason. It just feels right. It doesn't feel right to go with Totally Killer. And I know Totally Killer is very decisive. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people did not like it. I really enjoyed it. But I'm going to take Freddy vs. Jason over that. So we got Skinner versus April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day won. Child's Play versus Intruder. Intruder won. Open 24 Hours versus Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving won. Totally Killer versus Freddy vs. Jason. Freddy vs. Jason won. So, here we go. Round 2. Hopefully I'm not too quick about this because, again, I don't want this to be too short. X-Ray versus Cursed. Again, these are kind of even. I think I'm going to go with Cursed. It's another very decisive movie. A lot of people like it. A lot of people don't. A lot of people say it's one of their favorite, like, hidden gems. I agree. It's a hidden one. And it's fun. I'll take Cursed over X-Ray. Again, X-Ray is good. It's a damn good slasher. If you've never seen it or heard of it, go check it out. I think it's on Prime. I really enjoy X-Ray. But Cursed, man. Cursed is going to move on. Sleepaway Camp 3 or Maniac? Maniac walks here. Maniac walks. Maniac might win the bracket. I'm like looking this over. I don't think it's fair that I even put Maniac in here. Honestly. But Maniac walks. Again, I love Sleepaway Camp 3. It's campy fun. No pun intended. I also enjoy Maniac. A lot. I love Maniac. So yeah, Maniac moves on. It's got X-Ray versus Curse. Curse moved on. Sleepaway Camp 3 versus Maniac. Maniac moved on. Then you have April Fool's Day versus Intruder. This is damn hard. I love both of these movies to death. Damn. Intruder. Just gonna have to bite the bullet. I'm going Intruder. I love you, April Fool's Day, but I'm going Intruder. Thanksgiving or Freddy vs. Jason? This was also pretty difficult. I could go with either of these movies. I think I'm gonna go with Thanksgiving. I'm gonna take Thanksgiving. Cursed or Maniac? Maniac walks. And then Intruder or Thanksgiving? Intruder walks. So now it's between Maniac and Intruder. Maniac and Intruder. This is so difficult. Okay, let me think through it. Maniac. Joe Spinell. Amazing. Brutal, realistic. Tom Savini kill. Head go boom. Intruder. Grocery store. Dumb, cheesy fun. 80s gold. I'm just spewing off things for the movie. Amazing kills. Unique cinematography. Especially for the time. Amazing movie. Maniac. I think Maniac. Maniac's gonna win it. Maniac wins the whole bracket. Damn. I mean, that was a hard one. That was tough. But Maniac won. So now if I were to pair Maniac against what won the other one? Black Christmas? Maniac or Black Christmas? I'm going with Maniac. Again. So Maniac, according to this, is one of my favorite slashers. Sleepaway Camp takes it, but yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. It's not too short. Because of the way I'm doing this, I really don't know how long I've been recording. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow my Instagram at @IanLives_. Follow my Letterboxd. Thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel. It's unbelievable. And I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. Episode 2, finally out. I know you guys probably thought I was going to cancel this, but it's still here. It's still kicking. And I hope the bracket was not boring to listen to. So yeah, that's going to be it for me. That was episode 2 of the podcast. Let me know again. Ideas. What podcasts do you guys want to see? Questions. Leave me questions to answer during the podcast. Leave me ideas. What brackets you want to see. Just comment below, please. Let me know if I'm doing this right or if I'm doing it wrong. Love you guys. I'll see you guys later. Peace.